Today I want to talk about one of my favorite collections. It's a series known as PidcocksTokens, which are a subset of a wider group of tokens known as Conder tokens. Conder tokens are enumerated in a publication by Dalton and Hammer, where each one is issued a number and described. I start off the collection by describing the broad context of Pidcocks. And it's known as Pidcock's Royal Menagerie, and it was on the Exeter Change in London in the late 1700s and early 1800s. And there is the building, and all I can say is the smell of that place must have been off the chart. But nevertheless, this is a chapter from a book that goes over a lot of the detail about the animals and the events and, people in attendance and, just a lot of anecdotal stories about what went on back in the day. The interesting part about the whole series is you can really think of this as the very start of things like zoos and circuses. I say zoo because, in the winter, the animals would be at the Exeter Change. In the summer, he would take the show on the road and go to all the small towns. And that's more like a circus. So, even though it's not a zoo by our standards today, it was a zoo by a menagerie, as they called it. And this is a chapter from a book written by this woman, and I just want to give her full credit for that. And here are the tokens themselves. They're pretty cool. And it's kind of the same designs with other designs on the back. So each one of these that look the same on this side will be different on this side. And so there's, I don't know, at least a dozen or so different animals and dies that represent, the rhinoceroses and the kangaroos and the lion and dog and, all the different creatures that were on display. It's a fun collection. The tigers are one of my favorite designs of all these animals. The two-headed cow, very famous. Those are some extras. This one's super cool because of the collapsed die state. These two are made in brass, and that one is in a white metal. These are the farthings, which are quarter pennies. The other ones are half pennies. They too, have the same basic designs you saw in the half pennies. And you can see that I am missing a few, but I do have quite a number of them. I'm missing like 9, I think, total. Like I said, a very fun series and historical in that context of being one of the very first zoos/circuses.